We're here with Nicolás Alcalá from Future Lighthouse, and well, we're gonna talk about virtual reality. So let's start from Future Lighthouse. So when the project started and how it evolved, and how is it going to evolve in the next days?
Well, basically, after finishing my previous project, that was a crowdfunding film called The Customer. I met Roberto, one of my co-founders, and at some point he'd been working on VR for a long time, and he showed me the first version of OpenTrip. Later on, Steven, their co-founder, joined us, and that's where it came from. It came from the will to tell stories, to engage with an audience, and to use the best tools available to tell those stories.
You guys are part of an industry which has yet to evolve, or you're actually creating an industry. So what does it take being part of such a dynamic environment?
Well, on the one hand, it's I think it's a gift. It's something that very, very few people get to experience in their lives. Obviously, it's a painful and fun at the same time process in which you need to discover everything from scratch and you need to reset everything you knew and just think in a different way.
So I guess that you coming from the film production world, you had to reinvent yourself. I mean, your way to produce movies, because I guess. You don't just shoot an image and you have to create a world.
To be honest, the first project I was involved in, and I started that when I was 18 and I finished it when I was 26, that was kind of it. So it was a traditional film, but we tried to turn the industry upside down. So it was a very innovative film in many different ways. And the funny thing is that when we did that with the movie industry, there was a lot of people against us. It was like really hard to try to get the movie industry, which is very conservative, to innovate. With VR, I saw a window of opportunity because basically it's an industry that is being led by the tech companies. It's the Googles and the Facebooks and all these companies who are leading this revolution. Therefore, it's way easier to innovate, to think forward, to do things differently. And it's crazy, to think about that. For example, nowadays, if you take Spielberg, like best filmmaker ever, he knows nothing about VR as we do. So we're all like from scratch. We need to learn again. That's really cool.
Actually, even competing with Spielberg is quite cool.
Yeah.
So, philosopher Nick Bostrom, in 2003, I think, yes, he wrote these influential papers called Simulation. So where he discusses the hypothesis of being part of a simulation run by some more advanced species. So Elon Musk recently quoted that, and so he discussed in a conference whether we're part or not of a VR video game or reality. So are we in a video game or what's up?
Definitely my favorite theory is that we live in a simulation. We are part of that, and probably we come from the mind of a geeky alien in a different universe. But basically now we have a chance to create new reality. So who says that at some point an AI living in World of Warcraft is not going to ask itself this very same question? Do we live in a simulation? Why not? It makes a lot of sense.
Along with the video games, one of the other industries that joined the VR world first was Pornhub, so the porno industry. Mm-hmm. So why that?
So basically, porn has been the most innovative industry in every field. So everywhere there is room for innovation, porn is there first. It's like that. It always works like that, and it's very cool because they have the money and they are willing to take risks.
Yes.
And VR is gonna be the same. I mean, they're gonna invent creepy, amazing stuff, and I think everybody's gonna be excited to see that.
News from Sonar+D: just buy comfy sofas because VR is about to arrive, and you're probably not gonna leave home anymore.
That will definitely happen, I think. But it's like with the internet. At some point, the internet was a place where we went to. You needed to connect to the internet like it was a separate space. Now, the internet is everywhere. You have it in your pocket. It's something that is floating around us. And, I don't make a difference when I'm talking to my father or my friends on WhatsApp and when I'm in real life.
Yes.
So with VR, it's going to be more or less the same. We're going to be in and out. We're going to have AR all around us all the time. It's going to be the most natural thing. And at some point, and this is the most interesting part, when virtual realities become as real as reality, and that will happen in a decade or two, that's going to become reality too.
Which one is going to be the industry or, say, aspect of our life which is going to be affected the most by the mainstreaming of the...
Definitely porn, but beyond that, I think education is going to be huge. And this is going to transform not what we learn, but how we learn, how we see the world.
I like the idea of, I don't know, living in Barcelona and then having some clients or customers or whatever in Shanghai, and then just wearing my Oculus or whatever other device and just fly there, you know, not fly, but just be there and shake hands with my client.
At some point, it's not going to even be a device. It's like what Zuckerberg was talking about this year recently. He said that at some point we're going to connect to each other through our minds, and at some point we're going to be able to also transcend our bodies.
Okay, so as of now, the VR is the closest we got to teleport, so we can travel in the past for sure for images, but then we were discussing before that maybe also in the future. So
it's a time machine. This is the thing. VR is a new language. It's like with psychedelic drugs. You know, they open doors of perception and they show you things you didn't even know you had in your brain.
So can we put dates? So how long is it gonna take before becoming mainstream?
I think it's gonna be faster than we think. So I think it's gonna be like the smartphone revolution, or the same as with the iPad. It's gonna take about 5 years, but in 5 years, everybody's gonna have a virtual reality device. And probably in 10, it's gonna be something that is gonna be completely integrated in our culture.
Is VR a good technology, or it also has a dark side?
I think technology is neutral. With a plane, you can fly to places or you can bomb countries. With a fork, you can eat or you can kill someone. The technology is neutral, it's what you make. Obviously, every technology has a potential dark side, but I think in this case, the upside of it is way bigger.
What if technology with the potential to change everything?